What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. So today we had, some farmers speak out. Now these are also cattle ranchers as well. They all kind of said something. I didn't even know that corn was having a problem too, because we only were talking about soy, like soybeans. The farmers, they went to zero. The corn uh, farmers have had a hit too. I haven't found out the percentage of what China and other countries aren't buying from us due to the tariffs, but there are farmers who are dealing with corn. I don't know if that's human consumption or animal consumption. I have no idea. I haven't gotten that deep into it. I just found out a few minutes before I went to the show. Um, so I'll go deep into it probably next week if I find out more. But this is crazy, y'all. So Donald Trump literally today said, MAGA, make Argentina great again. It works. I thought this man was all about America. I thought he was talking about America, right? But all this time, it was just an acronym to him. If it works, it works. Make Armageddon great again. I mean, it works. The fuck is he talking about? We told him he was stupid. Nobody believed us. This man literally said, make Argentina great again. It came out of his mouth. While America is going through some shit right now. See, now, Wall Street, again, like I say, Wall Street looks like it's going great. It's Main Street that's kind of like falling apart. Now, this was the same problem that Biden and Kamala Harris had. Everything was looking like it was going well, but on Wall Street, on Main Street, they hadn't felt it yet. And they kept telling them, hey, keep sticking with us and you'll see it change. Everything else is going up. It's going to go up. Just give us a little time. Donald and his minions said that's not the case. Wasn't going to happen. We're going to make it better on day one. Then day one comes, he says, oh, y'all going to feel a little pain before you get to that good time. So it's kind of like stringing you along. You know, if you was a rat, they just give you a little bit of cheese till they lead you to the trap. And that's what they done to these MAGA. Just gave them a little bit of hate till they led them to a trap. The trap was what? That you were going to start losing your farms and shit. That you were going to start like going through some hell real quick. And that this man was going to switch up, make America great again. And he's trying to help out Argentina. Farmers had something to say something about it today. Hey, Rude Interplanet Janet. What's going on? I see you, Dennis. But they had something to say something about it today. So we're going to listen in on some of the stuff. Get this chat back up here. That they had to say real quick. And this is the counter ranchers. It actually is going to be, first thing you're going to see is Donald Trump talking about what is going on. He was on his plane today, kind of go off on a reporter because she was just telling him what the facts were. Farmers are pissed. What you going to do about it? You know, going to Argentina, what's the deal? Why are you doing this? And that's what people want to know. But for some reason, he wasn't trying to hear it.
That the deal is benefiting Argentina more than it is them, as
look,
they are
Argentina's fighting for its life, young lady. You don't know anything about it. They're fighting for their life. Nothing's benefiting Argentina. They're fighting for their life. You understand?
I love how he makes this a personal issue that she did. Like, she's literally asking questions that farmers want to know. This is the thing that gets me, is that when you saw, all the time, even when Obama was president, stuff like that, when you saw people that were mostly like a Republican, not Republican, but a Democrat, like if the person who's the president is a Democrat, Democrat Party or people who are in the news, rather, are trying to find out information that they've heard that people want questions about. MAGA and Republicans, if they're going to ask Obama something, they didn't care about that. They would ask him some of the stupid things. Like you would hear when Biden was president, I forgot I think his name Peter Ducey or whatever his name is. I call him Douchey. That guy would ask some of the most idiotic questions. You're like, nobody in the planet wanted to know that damn question except for Donald Trump. Nobody. But this lady is asking a question that literally farmers are on the news asking these questions. And she's bringing the word of the farmers to him and saying, hey, this shit don't look right. And he goes off on the girl giving it to her like she just made this shit off the top of the head and shit. I'm just going to make up some shit. No, that's what Fox does. But this is exactly what they were asking. You'll see it in a minute.
You know what that means? They have no money, they have no anything, they're fighting so hard to survive. If I can help them survive in a free world, I happen to like the president of Argentina. I think he's trying to do the best he can.
We need trade. U.S., especially Illinois, corn and soybeans need trade. We need international trade.
We usually get a lot of imports of hamburger from Mexico as well as Brazil because of President Trump's tariffs on Brazil. Those are down as well. So all we do is we import hamburger from these places. We don't make enough hamburger in this country. I'm afraid it's going to take a while to bring those prices of beef down at the market. But meanwhile, it's been a great market for our cattlemen. It's the only bright spot in agriculture right now.
Okay, hold it. Just listen to what he just said. He just said, Main Street, America, hey, it's high now because of the tariffs that Donald Trump put in. So the tariffs come in, that's why beef prices are high. Well, I thought the tariffs was paid by the other country, not us. So he literally is telling you the tariffs have increased the prices. Even Donald Trump is saying the same, that the tariffs are increasing the prices. And they have, and you'll hear it in a minute, that they have increased their income. They're making a little change because they was hurting for the last 20 years. And he's like, they've been hurting, but now they're starting to make money. It's like, okay, we do have a cattle industry, so tariff works for the cattle industry. But not most of these industries that we have. Like, again, we don't have a great hamburger industry in this country. So that means we got to get it from somewhere else. That means the prices of shit skyrocketing. You know that the cost of beef since 2024, since the end of the pandemic, or in the pandemic actually, has gone up 50 to 51%. Since Donald Trump has been in office, the report is from MSNBC that it's gone up. The prices of beef have gone up 14%. Now, I want to try and figure something out here. How is going up 14% actually going down? It's not. And then when you listen to this guy right here, he said, oh, the cattle farmers are doing well right now. That's the only big thing. It's going to take a while for the prices to come down for you, America. Tough it out. You know what's really kind of waking me up here is that even farmers don't give a fuck about Americans. I mean, because what he just said is that the farmers are making hand over fist, and Donald Trump bringing in Argentina is going to make them, force them to bring their prices down. They don't want to do that. Although their fellow Americans can barely afford to eat. So they don't want to lower the prices a little. They want to keep gouging us. And they want us to fight for them. They want us to fight for them. American beef. Fight for them when they're gouging us. That's what they want. That sucks. To literally say that you're going to charge us more and you're making good money now because of these tariffs, and we have that industry here. For those who don't know, that tariffs really only work if you have an industry in the country. Like Donald Trump trying to do it for like the technology industry, the cars or whatever. We don't have enough production in this country to take care of Americans, so we would have to go out of the country. So it kind of hurts us when we don't have the main manufacturing company that needs these particular products. We have to go out of the country to get it. Like this guy was saying, we got to go out to get beef because we don't have, or hamburger because we don't do it here. That means it's going to cost us more if you're going to be eating hamburger, right? So we're going out of the country, and he didn't raise the tariffs. Prices go up. And the stuff that we literally make, the beef part, and I'm guessing it's everything else but hamburger from what he was saying, they're getting hand over fist. They're making money. First time in 20 years, Donald Trump says, and this guy right here is saying the same thing. They're making good money. That's a good light. The beef farmer, the beef herder, cow herders and shit, they're making good money. Well, the prices of like beef, not hamburger, but beef, the shit that we buy has gone up 14%. Since 2020, 50%. So that means they've been doing well. That's why you really haven't heard these cattle ranchers say a damn thing. It's been farmers. Beef is up 50% since 2020. They're making money, mouth closed. But he talks about Argentina. It really opens the door for you to see these cattle ranchers have been ripping us the fuck off. And we're sitting here saying, oh, okay, we want to fight for the cattle ranchers because they're American. They're not fighting for you, is the point. It's always stripped when you start to really pay attention to what they're doing. Like I always said, if you go back and look at when we started doing trading with NAFTA, and they started, and even back when Reagan did a trade, and we ended up sending a lot of our jobs overseas. All our corporations, stuff like that, start going overseas. And they started charging us a crazy amount. If they gave a fuck about us, when they went over there and had it made for $10, they could have had a nice markup or whatever to 25, 30 bucks, but had good money. No, they made that shit 150, 300, $1,500 something it costs overseas. 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, $100,000 purses and different shit jackets and shit, and it literally costs $1,500 or $1,500 to make. They've been ripping us off. They made us, raised us up to be the buyers, paid them to be the laborers, while they sit on their throne and be the billionaires. And now that we're waking up, they're trying to take over the country. We're going to go into a little detail about how this shit happened. I wrote a little something that I want to read to you guys about the rise of what Donald Trump is doing. It didn't just take Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the vessel. But this shit's been going on for well over like almost 50 years or more. And we're going to talk a little bit about it and the person who decided to have that, the rise of this machine. Right now, all the pieces are coming together. What Donald Trump is doing, other stuff he's doing, like hateful shit, like tearing down the East Wing. That's shit that he wants to do because he just like wants to put his stamp on this country for the rest of the world. Even long after he's dead, he wants to have something Trump at the White House. I hope they tear that bitch down or blow it up. I promise you, I hope they just implode that bitch once he's gone. Don't even fucking care about us. We don't care. Implode that bitch and put, like I said, a gold toilet there with his face on it. And don't even make it real gold. Make that shit turn like bronze, turn green and shit in the winter. But that's what we want to talk about, is that these farmers, not I say in the the soybean or the corn farmers, but these cattle ranchers, they've been making money hand over fist, and that's why our food is costing so much. And the thing that's killing me is they could lower the prices. They aren't hurting at all. But they're mad about Donald Trump giving Argentina a opportunity to bring the food here. And he says, Donald Trump says, he's doing it because he's trying to lower prices. This game between billionaires playing in our faces. He's trying to make Argentina great again while giving the farmers cattle ranchers a windfall. They've been making money hand over fist with all this cattle they've been selling and shit with these high ass tariffs on. And they're not caring about us. We're getting charged crazily. It's just a greed fest. And the American citizen falling in line with either Republican, Democrat, Independent keeps falling into this money pit. Nobody's fighting for the regular guy and girl. Nobody's fighting for us. It's fighting for our dollars, for our money and our attention. This person's doing wrong, give me money. This person's doing wrong. That's why when you see any of these politicians, when they explain something to you and it's on your side, like they found out that Donald Trump did something wrong, they all give me $10 a day because we're fighting for you. Bullshit. You're doing your fucking job. You already got money to get to the job. But they're always wanting money, 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 money. And that machine that we keep feeding keeps making the wealthier wealthy and us stay stagnant or go poor. We got to figure out a better way. Got to figure out a better way. I'm working on it with Avid Solutionists and a few other things. If anybody else working on something, just hit your boy up. I mean, it's about us unifying. Because like I said, and I'll say it again, the reason why they're able to do what they're doing is that these rich people are unifying. The 1% are unified, have been for a long time, smiling in our face, and all the same time they stabbing us in the back. Because what Donald Trump is doing to this democracy, to this country, is not just Donald Trump. The engine's being fed by the millions and billions, by millions and billionaires who are literally trying to gain more power than they already have. I mean, how evil do you have to be? How maniacal do you have to be when you got everything that you could ever fucking want? You could buy another fucking planet and you still want more. The fuck is wrong with them? You're on easy street. Life is good. Why do you need to own everything? Because it ain't about the money no more. I got that. I can buy that. Now it's all about how can I take your life? How can I make your life worse and make my life better? I already got all the money. What else can I do to fuck you over? Because they sure as hell ain't thinking about what they can do to help you. If they did, they'd be creating programs to help people rise. Instead, they're paying this little orange dipshit to make everything fall so they can buy it all. Rich people get rich in a down economy, or richer, because they take everything, crash it down, then buy all that shit up. You can't afford it because you just crashed. They got this extra cash overseas and everywhere. This shit crashed. They got gold, they got titanium or whatever the fuck they got, whatever. Diamonds, they're all over the world with it. Money hid in some other country. And we get left out. When I say we, I'm talking about Americans. I'm not just talking about black or white or Latin. All of us, Americans, get left out. If you're not a millionaire or billionaire, and even if you're in the low millions, you're going to get left out. They ain't thinking about you. Just saying. Keep listening to these farmers talk. I think he's a rancher.
I think probably what you've heard a lot today is we should just allow our markets to dictate the price of beef. I think most people out here would have the view that the government should just be pretty limited and not kind of meddle in the free markets and let us handle it naturally.
Well, we are extremely concerned with the plan, but probably more importantly, we are just flat disappointed that this is the approach that the president has taken. We understand what he is trying to do, but what he does not realize is that in trying to bring the price of beef down for the consumer, it means he's going to bring down the price being paid for cattle for U.S. producers. So in effect, this is a direct attack on U.S. cattle producers.
We need to reduce imports. We need to grow our herd. We need to grow domestic beef in this country. We have the means to do it, and I think we should not be looking for new markets to bring beef in here.
Now, here's my question. You can probably, before we read this, here's my question to that. It's like, for this dude, how long is it going to take you to raise this beef? If we need it now, you can increase, but how long is it really going to take? Is it going to take, 3 to 5 years? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can only think that cattle can only, it's got to age till it's aged. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can just produce, not unless you're producing fake cows. I mean, it's going to take a minute. So if we run in dry, which I don't know we are or not, then we'll have to go out in other economies and pick up stuff until you can pick up. So that right there didn't make a lot of sense to me, unless he knows something, again, more than I do, about the fact that, supply and demand, if you don't have the supply, then make more, and then they'll buy it from you. Or buy more. I don't know what it is that you have to do. It's not my world, but I do know supply and demand. But this guy is basically saying that, we have to, we don't want that stuff coming in. And the other guy was talking about the one right before him. I mean, bringing in more is going to lessen the cost of what a rancher gets for his cattle. But at the same time, it's going to lower the prices for Americans to buy it. So if you can make profit and we can get good beef for a cheaper price, we ain't saying dirt cheap. We're just saying not 1% in 5 years. You feel me? So if it was, I don't know, whatever price it was, let's say it was $50, I guess, whatever, roast, whatever it was. And you're sitting there saying like, well, it used to be 30 something. And you can make money, like a good profit off of selling it to us for 30 something. Then you need to go back to 30 something, bro. This 50 is ridiculous, because again, it's like, for me, I look at it this way, and this is, maybe it's just me, but I'm like, when you are a comedian, or let's just say comedian, and you go to a club, right? You're a black person going to a club, never been to the club before. You got jokes that can make everybody laugh. You got jokes that can make, that are comfortable for white people to listen to without them getting offended, but it's still talking shit about them. You know what I'm saying? You got all these things that you can use. And then you walk in and it's a bunch of Klansmen. You just got to know the room. You got to read the room, is what I'm saying. If you walk into a room, it's a bunch of Klansmen, you happen to be a black person, read the room. If you're not accepted, get the fuck out. So these people are literally saying, hey, we need to make more money, and we've been making good money, and you want to bring in something that's going to lower shit, we're going to still make money, but we ain't going to make as much money as we're making before. It's like, but read the room. Americans are hurting. So it would behoove you to lower your prices and still make good profit, and look out for the people who are buying your shit to begin with. If you ain't paying attention to the room, where Americans are their insurance is about to go up anywhere between 70 to 300%, and all this other shit, you've been making money since 2020, up 51%, and you bitching too about Americans who are falling apart because of this orange crap head. And then you're going to sit here and be like, oh, no, fuck you, cattle ranchers. Fuck all y'all. If you don't sit here and think about and read the room where Americans are hurting, you're not hurting. You've been making 51% since 2025. It went up. You didn't need to go up that high. That was price gouging. Remember what Kamala Harris was talking about? We need to stop this price gouging. You guys have been price gouging for 5 fucking years, and you want to sit here and tell us, oh, help us because we're American. You don't give a fuck about Americans, cattle ranchers. If you did, you would lower your prices just so you make good enough profit so Americans can fucking eat. But you're like, fuck Americans. I want the money. That's the problem here. Even within our own country, we think people are for us because they label themselves American. They really are fucking not. There is no reason in 5 years, ain't nothing else went up 51%. Does it cost 51% more to buy your car? No, it doesn't. Are eggs up 51% since 2025? They fucking aren't. Price gouging. And we support this shit, America. We support it. And until we stop, then we can start having a fucking life that's worth a damn in this country without having to fucking spend everything you own just to live in squalor. Or what you consider squalor. Some people in middle class are like, oh, I only got a 3-bedroom home. I want a 6-bedroom home. That may be squalor to you. But those opportunities would be there if these people wouldn't be price gouging everything. The money it costs to feed your family skyrocketing because these people want to make money. Doesn't have to be that high. Nobody's saying that they shouldn't be in business to make money, but they shouldn't be in business to price gouge the hell out of people either. That's why we've grown so many billionaires. So many, 3,000 or more. We used to have like 1 or 2 back in the 70s. Now we got into thousands because price gouging, doing all this shit of what Reagan did, of what the first Bush, which went into Clinton, actually passed it, the NAFTA thing, but George Bush Sr. is the one who put it all together, and Bush and Clinton and Gore took it over the finish line. Again, loving on their billionaire friends has put us in the hole that we're in now. And until we start realizing that we can't get into better situations if we're going to constantly give billionaires a free pass while we have to pay for whatever the fuck they do wrong. How is that going to work for us in the long run? It won't. It won't. And until Americans start to unify just as strong as the billionaires and the politicians have unified to do what they're doing to us right now. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, because I want to go over how we got here, and I'll get that in a second. Let's finish listening to some of these farmers.
To do it, and I think we should not be looking for new markets to bring beef in here.
Mm-hmm. Now this is what Donald Trump said to the farmers today. Or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yes, it's yesterday. The cattle ranchers, who I love, don't understand that the only reason they are doing so well for the first time in decades. Crazy, right? He just said the first time in decades. Donald Trump, you was the president recently. You know, 1 removed. So you didn't do well for them either beforehand. You said decades, right? So just want you to know that you included yourself in that. I promise you, once he figures out, oh, I included myself in that, he'll edit it or change it or delete it. It's because I put tariffs on cattle coming into the United States, including a 50% tariff on Brazil. If it weren't for me, they would be doing just as they've been doing for the past 20 years. Terrible. They've been doing pretty well since 2020 at least. 51% increase. I wonder how long, I didn't get to check it out, before 2020, because it was a pandemic, it went down. Everything kind of went down low. So I'm pretty sure, not unless it was, the only thing you can probably compare that to is the previous pandemic. For that, I think it was 1919. So I don't think you can really compare to how much what was the biggest increase of beef prior to the pandemic. So I think it would have to be 1919 for that. But anyway, it would be nice if they would understand that. But they also have to get their prices down, because the consumer is a very big factor in my thinking also. So the consumer is a big thing in your thinking. But you've been giving them this money for the longest time. Didn't mention it. Cattle ranchers have been making hand over fist since Donald Trump threw these crazy tariffs on. Any industry that we do have in this country has been making good money for certain things that are going on, because then you just buy stuff here instead of buying it over there. You don't have to pay a tariff on things that are already in the country. So that's the main reason to use a tariff. Throw the tariff on, nobody goes to buy it, and they buy it from America, everything rises. But you have to have an industry first. So they've been making money hand over fist. Everybody's been going to them, and unless they have to go to Brazil, last choice or whatever. And now Argentina, he's trying to bring them in. I don't know about y'all, but I am wondering, what in the hell is Argentina and Donald Trump, the head of Argentina and Donald Trump, what do they got planned? I mean, is America trying to buy Argentina and they're just not telling us? I mean, because I can't see giving them $20 billion, okay? Our money, that's our tax dollars. Then go getting the billionaires. It's crazy how these billionaires are buying all kinds of shit for Donald Trump, huh? Billionaires overseas bought this man, or not bought it, but gave him a $400 million used plane. I know in that used plane, it's filled with all kinds of shit on the walls. Donald Trump in there having a good old time. Turn on a black light. You're going to see a bunch of shit in there you don't want to see. But anyway, he took a used vehicle like he's a piece. Oh man, like it's a garage sale for rich people. But anyway, and then you got this guy. You sitting there giving him 20 billion now from the rich people, and now you're trying to give him. You're doubling or tripling down on beef coming into the country from Argentina. Why? Why are we helping this country? This man literally had like a heart. He had a heart. He said some shit like, they're just, they're dead right now. They need us right now. When do you give a fuck about anybody, Donald Trump? You ain't never shown no kind of like and love, or you ain't never said you loved your wife that we know of. We ain't seen you so much as hug her tight. We ain't seen you guys walk with your hand in hand, skipping a no shits, nothing. We ain't seen you do nothing that seemed like you have a fucking heart. And here you are, except for when you talk about money. And because you're grabbing Putin's hand, that's the most love we don't see. And then you're talking about when you went to Saudi Arabia, and this guy's got a lot of money, lots of money. I'm like, dude, you are fucking thirsty and you rich. How can you be so thirsty and rich? It's like, damn, there is no limit to what this man wants. It is like he was poor his whole life. I was not poor. I was poor, but I wasn't like dirt poor when I was younger. But when I got older, I'm like, I don't mind having money, but you ain't going to see me kiss nobody's ass for it. I'm working for it. It's pathetic to watch somebody like him have money and be sitting there, oh, he got a lot of money, a really good, great guy, shaking the fuck out of his hand. Like, man, let the dude's hand go. The fuck you doing? He's all excited. This man don't have no emotion until somebody's giving him a gift or money. I want to tell his parents that are in hell right now, fuck all y'all. All the way past your grandparents, all your whole lineage. Fuck y'all. I know y'all in hell because you raised this little tyrant. Every last one of you in hell right now. There's no way in heaven or no way in hell you made it to heaven. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. This man don't even pray. He don't do none of that shit. He just totally think he got it all. And what kills me is this country continues to open the door to let this man do some of the most egregious shit. If he was black, somebody would have killed him by now. Fuck that missing shit. Everybody who was CIA, FBI, all that shit like it, all of them be disappearing. Like, didn't like the president by himself. If he was a person of color, why the president by himself? President gone. If this shit was happening by a person of color, in a heartbeat, there's no way in hell. The shit this man is doing, tearing down the East Wing, never contacting any kind of organization about historical artifacts, none of that. Where the rest of the furniture? Where'd you put it at? People don't know shit. Where's you housing it at? Is it in like some kind of presidential library? What'd you do with it? They don't know. No accountability. None. It's weird. And they got this man right here literally saying that he is going to take care of Argentina, make Argentina great again. He hasn't made America great at all. He act like he done accomplished the goal. What goal, bruh? You got in and everything's going down except for rich people. Rich people making a mint. And that was the plan. Make America Great Again was not about Americans. It was about rich Americans. It is great for them. Look how much fun they're having. And look, do you hear any rich person having a problem? No, because he hasn't raised any of their taxes. And he's going to give them a tax break once he gets all the money out of you. So he got you guys, Americans, to hate. He got Americans to hate each other. So that when he does shit, one group of people are going to support him even though they don't like it. But they hate liberals worse than anything else. So they're so ingrained in their brain to hate liberals that even when he takes shit away from them, they can't see it. And somebody mentioned earlier, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Who'd have thunk it? And I'm like, she's not the only person that's a Republican that has kids. But obviously, she must be the only Republican that gives a fuck about her kids. I mean, she's the one who's like, oh, insurance is going to go up for my kids and all that stuff like that. It's hitting her right in her pocket. And never mind you, Marjorie Taylor Greene is rich. She's rich. Remember, she invested all, and she did some crooked shit herself. She invested all that money, that $3 million, into the stock market when Donald Trump was fucking with it, and he fucked with it a little bit, and then the market go down. Let up, and the shit would shoot up. Fuck with it, bring it down. Remember we was going through that at the very beginning of his presidency? Well, she sold and bought all kinds of shit in between there and made a mint. Because she knew he's going to say, I'm going to do this, and then it was going to drop. She bought a shit ton, and then all of a sudden the next day or so, he let it go, boom, it shot back up. Made her money back and then some. So she ain't broke, but she ain't about to give her kids none of this money. That's for her retirement, because she just literally is out there fighting what she says, her kids. You know what I'm saying? Their insurance is going to be doubling in the next few weeks or so, and probably less than that in November. I think like November 1st or 10th or something like that. So she's fighting, which shocks the hell out of me, because there is nothing I liked about that woman. And then for her to literally be, insider trading, and for her to be literally like on our side on this, on not even just our side, on the side of facts, right? On the side of facts, which we ride and die for. Facts. Even if they hurt, we want to know the facts, right? And if for them, their feelings outweigh facts. And so even she is coming out and saying, hey, you guys are making some big mistakes here. What are you doing? My constituents can't do this. And then she came out for the farmers, and she came out for the cattle ranchers. And I'm like, well, damn, shit, by the end of the year, she's going to be a Democrat. She ain't going to claim one of them, but she's going to be like, hey, everything she's going to be saying is going to sound Democrat-y. I made it up. Shut up. But anyway, it is going to be, it's kind of weird. It kind of freaks me out to think that me and her are talking about the same thing. It's kind of freaky, because I ain't never in my life thought there was a thing as Jewish space lasers. I never chased a kid down that got shot at and then literally make him try to feel bad. I mean, this woman was deplorable. And even a deplorable person is kind of like defeating the purpose. I'm like, she's deplorable. How can she be doing good things? I'm like, even a broken clock is, right twice a day. So she's right about something now. Take it. Take it or leave it. I'll take it for now. I'll take it. But she's still the Epstein files. She's 100% behind it. Love it. Epstein files. We are 1,000% down to find these Epstein files. And the more Donald Trump has been doing all this crazy shit to throw things so far to the left or to the right, and I ain't talking about politically, I'm just talking about just fucking shit up left and right, there must be some serious shit in those Epstein files. I mean, there's got to be some serious major crap in there. And the thing that's tripped out about it is you got Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, of course, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and the people around him know this man is a pedophile. Allegedly. They know it. And they out here prancing and prancing around talking about, they didn't even talk about the damn thing anymore. They were the ones that were wanting it so bad, they was calling every liberal. Think about it. They can't stand liberals. They have no problem putting liberals on the spot. They would talk shit about any liberal if they can. They would let Donald Trump walk out on Fifth Avenue and shoot a liberal and think nothing of it and vote for him, whatever he's got to do next. They've literally said it out of their mouths, some of them. And you telling me you got the Epstein files and you ain't fuck with no liberals yet? I don't understand that. It doesn't compute. You hate liberals so much. Why haven't you exposed one of the liberals inside this document? I mean, Clinton's right there. You guys hate the fuck out of Clinton. He's right there. Why haven't you done something to Clinton, at least? Could it be that Donald Trump did worse than Clinton? Could it be that Donald Trump was his boy and wrote a letter to him, a little love letter to him? Could it be that Donald Trump probably got more in there than people want to understand? Could it be that maybe Donald Trump was in some video or picture kissing Jeffrey Epstein on lips? Could it be? I don't know, but I'm getting the vibe. I promise you I'm getting that vibe that he was a little, but it's okay. But they all hate that shit. But come out the closet. I'm just saying, because I don't understand how you can't let something out when you ain't did nothing but spit hate about Democrats being all over in these fucking books and videos and all that, Cash Patel. You and Dan Bongino were always heated and saying, all you got to do is do this and that. It's crazy how you got in a position and your bitch ass can't do this and that. So are you saying when the people who were in there in that office who weren't about politics, but you guys tried to make them politics, when they were in there trying to do the job, they didn't release it because maybe they couldn't release them? Because you said you could. You knew better. And now you're the head of it. And you got nothing to say. In any direction that your eyes may go, you have nothing to say about anything. Just, I didn't tell him about the files. I didn't tell him his name was in them. Did you tell Pam Bondi? I'm not going to say anything I said behind the scenes. I mean, I thought you was transparent. You a cockeyed bastard. I thought you was transparent. Nope, not transparent at all. Nope. This eye, transparent. That one's not. This one cancels out that one. Yeah, I'm petty. I talk shit about people who fucking lie. I can't stand liars. Oh, and that Janine Gouffre, her book came out. Yeah. And she who says recently? Oh yeah, Prince Andrew. Oh yeah, Prince Andrew's in it too. Oh, 100%. He done lost all kinds of things. They know he's in it. His people. That's why he's been losing shit left and right. His country, they've been sitting here losing all kind of rights and princehood, whatever the hell he lost. He's been losing shit left and right, powers and shit left and right because of this scandal in America. And here it is, Donald Trump not getting affected by it. Here it is, all these Cash Patels, Pam Bondis, all of them, they ain't got nothing to say. They ain't got no smoke. They had all the smoke and all the love for these victims. They were talking all this shit about the victims. You know what's also tripping me out? Is the Republicans who were giving them millions of dollars to uncover this scandal of hurting children. The people who had this righteous indignation, screaming, yelling, asking people to do it, saying that the Democrats are just horrible human beings and that they do certain things to kids and all that. And I'm all for it. If they're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, bring their ass out. But they must not have any. Or if they do have any, they full on attach to Republicans. Or at least Donald Trump. So I'm going to do what Trump does until he comes out and says something different, right? I'm going to be Trumpian for a hot second. I think Donald Trump is just as bad, if not worse, than Jeffrey Epstein. I said it. Come out, wherever you are, prove it. Prove that I'm wrong. I think he's every bit of Jeffrey Epstein, if not worse. Because it turns out Donald Trump and him were like boys for 15 years. You're going to tell me, I can understand you being boys for 15 years. The only time y'all hung out was when y'all played golf. I wouldn't know what you're doing at your home. But no, you done been at this crib. And I don't know about the island, but you done been to his New York place. You done been to all kind of parties. You done hit him up to Mar-a-Lago. You know he had cameras all over the place. There were pictures taken, even Michael Wolff has seen, with girls, young girls, right? With your pants wet. And all these little girls around you, basically children, looking at you. with wetness in your pants in your nether region. Now that picture exists because you haven't sued or said anything to Michael Wolff about that picture. Matter of fact, it was asked. Mr. Whitehouse asked about it, and Pam Bondi was like, "Oh my God, you gonna talk about a picture? Yeah, we talking about a picture. You little waif-looking heifer. Yes, we talking about it. Yes, where's that? Because you know you seen it. Because you had no answer for it. You just got all, oh my God, why would you say that? Because there's a bitch in the fucking jail right now that did these things. And you look all like you can't talk about it. These young babies went through it, you little bitch. Sorry, take it back. I'm angry at this shit. I'm angry at her. Take the bitch back. But regardless, I get shitty when people sit here and act like it's no big fucking deal. I got family members who were raped. Yep. Pisses me the fuck off to no end. And when people sit there and act like, what was the big deal? Fuck you. This is how mad y'all should be. But for some reason, you're not. Some reason you're not pissed off about it anymore. Now that the orange turd is your boss and everything like that, and you're in the office, things you said you was going to do, you haven't even come close to doing them. We're going to look at the files when you first came in. Remember when they first came in? They had these little pamphlets and books and showing you, oh, this is going to be volume 1. Look at volume 1. Look at volume 1 of the Epstein files, the same shit we already had that was in the news 6 months prior. Look. Brought all these right-wing dipshits on podcasts to prounce them around and say, look at these right-wing, they're in the White House, and then they thought that was going to be it. This trick labeled it volume 1 as if there's going to be a volume 2 coming. And then she's like, oh, no, that was just one-time thing. Then why would you label it volume 1? I believe you was looking for a volume 2 until you found the deep shit was Donald Trump all up and through him. Why else would you go get a crap ton of FBI agents, which, Cash Patel, that was your boys that did that. That went on a 24-hour spree of finding Donald Trump's name, if they could find it, in these documents, in which you gave Pam Bondi all the information on how many times his name was in that shit. And then she goes tell Donald Trump. Then all of a sudden, what files? What files are we talking about? What files? I don't even know of a file. I haven't heard of a file. What is a file? You ever seen a file before? Can't understand what a file is. How you spell file? And then Donald Trump, this past, about a week or two ago, somebody asked him about Ghislaine Maxwell. He said, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Dude, she's in pictures with you and your wife. You wished her well when she went to prison. You just let her out of the prison that she's supposed to be in and put her in a prison where she should have never, ever seen the inside of. You had your personal attorney literally go speak to her and ask her stupid fucking questions that meant fucking nothing, but gave him the access to tell them to let her out of prison and put her into Club Fed. You don't know who this bitch is. Give me a fucking break. It's my fucking nerves. These people, if you're not fighting for somebody, then you're defending the other person. And these girls have been fighting for fucking 30 years. And this country hides anything that men do, especially rich men do, to women. You would think we have grown the fuck up already and start protecting the people who give us fucking life. There would not be us without them. And you can't stand up and fight for women in this situation. Girls, you guys are horrible. I ain't talking about you specifically. I'm talking about these people who don't want to find the truth. I don't care if it turns out, if it's a Democrat. I don't care if it turns out, if it's a woman that I like. I don't care who it turns out to be. Get to the bottom of it so that we can be able to stop some of it. Are we going to stop everything? No. But can we stop it in the situation of rich people realizing that you can't get away with this shit like you used to? Hell yeah, we can do that. Start charging about 50, 20, 25, 50 of them. See what the fuck happens. The rest of them going to be like, wait a minute. Oh boy, he got taken. Some of them going to be looking at their right hand before they touch somebody else. But no, we allow them to keep going and doing the things they're doing. And the thing that kills me about it, they were talking about, oh, protect this, protect that. Do you know Cash Patel? Do you know Pam Bondi? Do you know Dan Bongino? These children right now that are 12 and 13, at this moment, those rich men that you won't fuck with are raping them. They didn't stop. You thought they stopped, is what you're saying. You thought that these people that you're protecting aren't right now raping a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old. You ain't told them to stop. You got video and pictures. I know he took them. Donald Trump has, not Donald Trump, but Michael Wolff saw a picture in Jeffrey Epstein. He brought him out when he was writing this book. He brought them out to show him what he had on Donald Trump and others. The guy who works with Donald Trump, not Scott Bessent, but the other one. Sometimes I forget his name. I'll remember. Howard Lutnick. He lived next door. That was his neighbor. He said he literally had a massage table in his living room. As soon as you walk in the house, see the top massage table. And he said the dude was creepy. And he said the way he made his money was bribing folks who came over. And who came over a lot? His little friend of 15 years. Never mind the fact that a woman claims that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein both at the same time raped her when she was 13. So if she can put them in this room and say this happened to her, do you think that was the one and only time that Donald Trump partook in it? No, because there's another woman that literally says that some girl, Tiffany, was in the room with her and they was playing some game that Donald Trump liked, tying people up or some shit. And then he proceeded to rape her. And then what did he say? When they were talking about it and the girl, Tiffany, didn't know that he was going to do what he did, supposedly, and the girl's crying, he told him to shut up because you're lucky that I took your virginity and not some little pimple-faced teenager. That's another person who said that this happened to them. That's their account, not mine. There's two people that said that Donald Trump has done this to him. Never mind the fact that his wife actually said it and made a police report and recanted. That's three people. How many in here, men in here, got 3 bodies on them of rape? 3 accounts of somebody said you did it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And where they talk about this type of shit, Donald Trump, there's a fucking like wildfire. And they keep on looking over like, I don't see nothing. Do you smell the fire at least? Nope, don't see it, don't smell it. And they're looking for him to admit it. He ain't gonna never admit that. This man won't admit that he's stupid. And you can see that from a mile away. Can't tell me you got all those bodies on you and not one of them was right. Then that's 3 bodies. The 4th one is E. Jean Carroll. She got 80-something million. There's 4 women that said they have assaulted. Then there's 30 other women that said that he grabbed them by the, you know what, the vagina. Or assaulted them or grabbed their breasts in some way, shape, or form. One of them said it happened right in front of Jeffrey Epstein. All these accounts, and you want to sit here and act like it never fucking happened. One man, 30 plus women, and you believe in the man. You're a fucked up human being. That man is dirty and they all know it. It's crazy that one man can sit here. I can see if you did it, it was you and another woman and it wasn't there. It's possible. It's 50-50. It's you and 30-something women and you still believing in the men? Fuck you. All y'all. Fuck y'all if y'all don't believe this shit. Fuck every last one of you. There's no way that somebody has this type of... If you saw anybody else, if it was a poor Latin person, poor black person, even a poor white person, You wouldn't give them this much of a benefit of a doubt. All these bodies? Give me a break. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. What do they want? And none of them want money from it. So what do they want? How do you justify all these women coming forth and not suing for cash? They just doing it for what? Fame? Oh, the death threats. They just wanted death threats. Oh, I can't stand these people, y'all. I can't stand evil people, man. I promise you, this is a part where I have problem with faith. I don't believe in religion at all anymore. But this is part why. That there is no vengeance upon these evil people. That innocence can be harmed, and there's no like superhero by the name of Christ that will do anything except for sit there and ask you to pray to him. That shit pisses me off to no end. These men are dying. You hear me? With no repercussions for none of the shit they did. Yet you want to tell the rest of the population to be good and kind and nice and don't break the laws. Yet you let these assholes break the law and you exalt them somehow. Even take this man to the power of being the president of the United States, not once, but twice, knowing that he did this. It came out of his mouth that he did this. I grabbed women by the vaginas. Became locker room talk. And ain't none of y'all been in the locker room talking like that unless you're a bunch of pedophile rapists. Get off of this real quick before I dropped a couple B-bombs already. It's gonna piss me off, man. Get back to, because I'm telling you, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And somehow this damn country is accepting this shit. I mean, it's like there's nothing to do. This I'm always looking like, is there a ripcord to pull? Like, come on, this shit, wake the fuck up already. And there's nothing to pull. This country is just that sick that we would sit there and ask the male who's been charged many a times, not in court, but people have said, this is what he does, this is what he does, this is what he does. And he's got money. Oh, maybe he doesn't do that. Jeffrey Epstein, they said he did it. This man got a weekend in prison while he came out and continued to rape little girls while he was in prison. For the thing he did, he went there, got out, and continued doing it. Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. I don't, it disgusts me. It pisses me off. I mean, I'm like, when is America going to rise up and fight these demons off? When are we going to sit here and stop being like, they got money? Fuck their money. They have no right to treat people this way. They have no rights to do this. And somehow we're allowing them to do this shit. All right. Let me move on. I went off on a tangent, but it is what it is. That is close to my heart, and it pisses me off. And I want every last one of these assholes in jail, if not in hell. One of the two. If some of them might be already in hell, because I'm sure they spent their entire life eluding this shit, because these motherfuckers are old right now. Some of them don't died right now. Jeffrey Epstein's gone. I know other people that he was getting his money from, because he's been doing this shit since he was a fucking youngster. He was 60 whatever something when he died. Doing it for decades. Kids, they say it was up to at least 1,000 or 2,000, something like that, in the thousands, yo. 1,000 to 2,000 girls. He had an appetite, so to speak, of 3 girls a day. Do you understand the visuals of that? 3 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old girls a day being raped by a rich, creepy fuck. And America just sat back, and we didn't know anything about it, but the people who did just sat back and just let it happen. Can you imagine what these girls felt like seeing all these heads of state and people from other countries and probably kings and people from all over the world coming to this man's house just so they can, have, sex with these children. Can you imagine the visuals of that? These girls hopeless. They're on an island that they can't get off of. They don't know how to fly and boat, nothing. They are stuck there for whatever these creepy fucks pleasure. And being that young, where the fuck were the parents? I promise you I'd be in jail right now. I promise you, if it had any of my kids, I promise you, none of them would have saw the next day. Fuck that taking them to court shit. I'm going to be in court. And I ain't even going to go to court. I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm going straight to jail. Fuck all this. I did what I did. I ain't got no time for all this pandering around, looking at a judge saying, your honor. Fuck all that. Just take me whatever years you got to give me. As long as that motherfucker ain't breathing no more, I'm good. I just can't believe that shit. Anyway, this orange creep is destroying our country. Everything we fought for, our ancestors fought for. And I ain't just talking about black ancestors. I'm talking about everybody who's been here for hundreds of years. Everything. The American dream is fucking gone. Buildings that our ancestors took part in, this man is trying to tear apart. East Wing, I know it's built by one of the presidents. Torn apart. Just so this asshole can have a ballroom. This old fuck can't dance anymore. He want a ballroom for what? You got fucking thick ass cow ankles, bitch. You ain't dancing nowhere. So you putting all that together for whom to dance? You barely can walk. Because he thinks he's a king. And the way he acts, he's a freaking pauper. All excited about money. Rich people who were old money, not new money. Rich people with old money. They don't even talk about money. It's all these new rich people that got money that shouldn't have had it. These tech billionaires, they should have never got money because they don't know how to act. They out here destroying a fucking country that gave them these opportunities. And so other people behind them can move up too. No, they want to destroy the fucking country. So they can become, like oligarchs. So they can have whatever they want to have. And Donald Trump, and it's the craziest thing is like, you made this money under democracy. And now you're paying for this dude to try and turn us into a different thing. Whereas if he gets upset, off with your head. I mean, it's these rich people, dude. It kills me when people don't really think about it. They just don't think about it. But I'm going to give you guys a little something that I was doing today. I wrote. And it's all about the rise of this machine, this thing that Donald Trump built, and how basically the only way we can be able to counteract this as Americans, as I always say, the 70% or whatever it is, 67% of us, we're the majority who want a democracy. That 30%, out of that 30%, I think they want a democracy, not all of them. But the white nationalist aspect of them, they don't want a democracy because they can't thrive under democracy. They want something where they're going to get great jobs, and the only prerequisite, like Pete Hegseth, is to be a white guy, right? Pam Bondi to be a white woman that's a sycophant that will do whatever he wants him to do. Same thing with Pete Hegseth, and the same thing that goes along with Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. Whatever you want me to do, master, they'll do. Even if it's breaking the law, because they believe this man is going to protect them somehow. But the reality is Donald Trump has immunity. They don't. I can't wait for they get their comeuppance. But this is what I wanted to read to you and give you some insight about it. So it's in a narrative form. So once upon a time, the ultra wealthy of America looked upon democracy and saw a problem. This is a while back ago. This is not recent. I told you this has been going on for 50 years or so. Too much power, the problem they saw was too much power in the hands of the people. You and I, we had too much power. They saw this back in the day, and they've been working to destroy it ever since. Don't listen to me, listen to history. In the wake of the New Deal and the Civil Rights Movement, which they want to get rid of, right? When ordinary citizens demanded their fair wages, racial justice, and corporate accountability, the elite grew uneasy because they felt like you were coming after them. They said, why? You're still going to be rich. But that doesn't matter to them. Greedy is a whole other world. They saw a world where democracy worked too well, where labor unions, community organizations, and journalism could challenge corporate power. That's what it was supposed to do. But it was working too well. So what did they do? They formed a plan. All right? Now, before I go on to tell you what the plan is, I want you guys to understand something. What is going on right now in this country with Donald Trump, the Heritage Foundation, and many others, this has been a concerted effort of millions, of billions of dollars put into organizations created, podcasts created, disinformation, misinformation created, and funded heavily by billionaires to destroy this power that the people, you and I, had. And this assault on Americans and the democracy is going exactly the way they wanted to go. And the only way we can destroy this is to have organization and have the same types of things, but for the good. And I'll explain a little bit. So let's get into this a little bit. In 1971, a lawyer by the name of Lewis Powell, later a Supreme Court justice, wrote a confidential memo to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. It was called, quote, "The Attack on the American Free Enterprise System," unquote. That memo became the blueprint for what we now call the conservative industrial complex. It called for an organized, well-funded, long-term campaign to control education, trying to get rid of the Department of Education. That's been going on for a while, though. Get rid of books, the media, the courts, and public opinion. When you think about this has been going on since 1971. They formed this. What have they been attacking? Donald Trump, the governor of Florida, and all this other stuff. They've been attacking education and books and so forth in our schools. Rewriting education and putting in shit that would say like Christopher Columbus discovered America, which he didn't. He was in South America, saying that slavery created trades for us when we came here in this country knowing those trades. We're the ones that taught it to the Europeans and the people who were here. But doesn't matter. They rewrite it. The media, the courts putting in judges. Supreme Court justices owned by MAGA. These people have been going against everything they say they believed in as Supreme Court justices. And they have basically immunity themselves, because the only thing that really can mess with them is like this ethical process, and that's between all of them holding themselves accountable, which is the most idiotic system I've never heard of. Why the fuck did we do that as the forefathers were not as bright as we thought they were in that situation? Because how would you put the people that you gave a lifetime appointment in control of their own ethics? You couldn't foresee that all you had to do was get 6 unethical or Republican or Democrat that could literally fuck this all up Didn't see that? Didn't foresee it. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the message here. It called for an organized, well-funded, long-term campaign to control education, the media, the courts, and public opinion. The wealthy didn't just want to win elections. They wanted to reshape the American mind. Okay, now I want you to understand that they just picture this now. These group of conservative Republicans, before it was a MAGA thing, is Republicans. They have since 1971 been focused on how can we make America white again? How can we make America dumb so that they think that we're smart? How can we take over the media and allow to get the citizens divided so much that they don't see us pickpocketing them. They just see hate amongst themselves. And then think about it for a second. Have you heard anything from George Soros hating on anybody and any other billionaire at all? Have you heard anything from Bill Gates hating any billionaire, what they're doing? Or, Mark Zuckerberg or any of these billionaires? Are they combating and you got Republican? And I haven't seen one ad or anything where you have Soros talking shit about any other billionaire. I just hear Donald Trump bring Soros up. But you don't ever see them on the far right. Where the far left, rather, or even far left, where are the left billionaires? And why aren't they boisterous? And why aren't they putting hundreds of millions of dollars behind keeping it a democracy? Why aren't there just like a shit ton of ads that they're supporting? They know how to do this because it's the billionaires that did this to America. What we're having now, we're witnessing now, the billionaires did this on purpose since 1971, putting think tanks together, not one, but multiple, coming to cahoots with each other and saying, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to fund it. Keep it going. They built an empire in plain sight. The billionaires and corporations pooled their resources into a web of think tanks, lobbying groups, and dark money PACs. They built ideological factories with innocent names: the Heritage Foundation, the Cato Institute, the Federalist Society, the American Legislative Exchange Council, or the ALEC. Each was a cog in a massive interconnected system, generating propaganda, training judges. You heard me right. Training judges, grooming politicians. Those politicians, the young politicians, young Republicans, they were groomed by these people. They're not in that position because they're good or whatever their job. They're in that position because they hold these racist and white nationalist ideologies, which they were groomed by these nice sounding organizations, which are basically just white supremacist organizations hidden to seem like they care about conservatism. They want to conserve their wealth. All the rest of shit they talk about, all their plans and strategies are propaganda. You wonder, it made you think, like a person like myself who grew up with Republicans and Democrats and asking them ever since I was a kid, like, what makes you a Republican? And then a Republican would tell you, family values, and we don't believe in abortions, and we believe in marriage, and all no marriage out of wedlock, and all being conservative fiscally and responsibility, and we believe in law and order. These were their processes. These are the things that they said they believed in, and it was awfully strange that these 5 things I mentioned was almost every one of them would say. And then Donald Trump got in at first time. Before he got in, all these pillars that they talked about, all of them were gone except for the abortion one. None of that other shit. Donald Trump was an adulterer. Can't talk about family values. Donald Trump was a rapist. You can't talk about law and order. He had 34 felonies. Can't talk about law and order. You can't put a person up and say that you believe in these things, and you just put the biggest criminal, the biggest criminal to ever be president, ever in American history. You put the worst, right? Oh, to the tune of 500, was it 500 million or 500 billion dollars or something? 500 million, I think. 500 million dollars or something like that. Attacked and sexually assaulted, and the judge says you can say rape E. Jean Carroll. All that. Everything they said they believed in just went away. Could it be they never believed in it? It was just their power struggle. It was their power structure, rather. To be able to get other people to fall in line with them, they had these ideals that they thought that other Americans wanted. So they just pushed them as a marketing tool. They never believed in them. You can go and see how many Republicans had sex out of wedlock, how many of them are actually gay and they don't believe in that and their Christianity. How many of them don't really believe in Christ? They think he's too woke. Never believed in him. He was just a tool to get whatever they wanted. All the things they said they believed in, you can see now, none of them rung true. They were just tools to get Americans divided on issues that they truly didn't give a fuck about. They gave a fuck about power and how they can get American citizens to be divided among issues. So they claim some of their own. These are mine, and these are mine. And they ain't none of theirs. All of these groups, they want power. And they say whatever they got to say to get your ass to the polls. What do you believe in? Oh, I believe in rainbows and unicorns. So do I. Vote for me. Then once you vote for them, that's some stupid shit. But you know, hey, whatever. You know, it is what it is. Let me go off and get this power real quick. Let me get this cash. And I'll come back 4 years from now. And I'll believe in unicorns again. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, unicorns and rainbows. Yeah, okay. I got you. I'll put that down. To get his vote, unicorns and rainbows. And you're so desperate to have somebody believe in you, whatever the fuck you want to believe in, you just listen to these fools tell you what you want to fucking hear. They done did all the Oppo research to find out, oh, in this community, all they care about is farming. So when they come out, I'm going to do the farming. Fuck you. You ain't going to do shit. You just want their vote. This right here proves the things that they did, these organizations, they are so maniacal and evil, they literally thought of creating an organization to be hidden for the purposes of destroying democracy because you guys, American citizens, not black, white, and Latin, American citizens, you're too powerful. So we're going to start these organizations, put a shit ton of money, billions upon billions for fucking decades, and strike when the oil is hot. And Donald Trump was the tool that they could be able to use. They saw Americans divided with this guy, and he's like the great divider. And they go out there and say he's the great uniter in chief. They literally mean divider. It is what they wanted. It is how their goals are met. Okay? Let's keep it going. I'm going to keep telling you this. So each was a cog in a massive interconnected system generating propaganda, training judges, grooming politicians, and writing prepackaged laws for state legislatures. Prepackaged. It's written by them. Just like Russ Vogt, who's a part of the Heritage Foundation, billions of dollars, have been spent into this. And if you think all these billionaires are just Republicans, I don't know. I can't say that they are or aren't, but the telling part is I don't hear any of the billionaire Democrats opening their mouths. I don't hear one that's really loud and clear. Have you? What about the mayor in New York? There used to be an old mayor in New York. I haven't heard a word from him, not a peep. I'm just saying. All right. They funneled billions through 501c3, which are nonprofits, giving tax-exempt status to political warfare. Billionaires like the Koch brothers built networks of hundreds of front groups to hide their influence, all while telling the public that George Soros was the puppet master. They learned a lesson from fascism without using the word. If you control what people fear, you control what they'll accept. Let me say that to you once again. If you control what people fear, you'll control what they'll accept. It brightens your mind up a little bit as to what's been going on. All these people were fearing that they weren't going to have jobs and that these Latin people were going to kill you, and they bring in their rapists. Donald Trump instilled that fear into them. And the only way he did it was that he put it out there, and every news station, whether it be good or bad, would repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. He had free advertising and repeat it and repeat it. And all it takes is to keep repeating, even if a lie, over and over again. You end up taking a country over by a lot of people already believing it without doing any homework. We're the minority in the sense of doing homework, right? They don't do homework at all. But as far as like being able to, like me and you, if there's a Democrat, they may believe in a Democrat, whatever. But we sit here and read this shit, and we write it, and we discuss it, and we go over it, and you know, use our brain. They know that these people will not do that. They've done the research on these people. They spent billions of dollars doing research on us, not only through like these control groups. All of our information online, the way we talk, the things we do, these major corporations, the Amazons, the Facebooks, the Snapchats, the TikTok, they got all of our interactions, what we say and what we do. I don't know how much access they have to them, but they have access to data. And you don't think they'll try to figure out, oh, I know how to do this? Because again, if you start talking about screwdrivers, you ain't got to talk to nobody. Just sit in your table right now at your desk in front of your phone and computers and talk about something. I don't care, knitting, talk about screwdrivers, talk about cell phone batteries, talk about lotion. And I promise you, within a day, if not a few minutes or an hour, open up one of your apps and start looking through it. One of the first ads you will see will be batteries for cell phones. You'll see everything I just mentioned. Don't believe me? Just try it. Just try it. You spend too many seconds watching something, you start getting more of those. They are constantly realizing what we do. And all this data is letting them know how we react, how long it took us to see a video and buy it. So they're like, oh, this person likes technology. I'll put something that's close to that next to them again. Maybe they'll get that too. And then they get it doing that so many times, they figured out 1 out of eight times, he's going to buy that, whatever it is. So get him what he's interested in. He may have looked at for 3 seconds. Put it in front of him 8 times. The 8th time, he's going to buy it. They already know these things. But that's not even talking about buying shit. I'm talking about the way you think. So they're in here literally weaponizing the way you think, what you fear, and then giving you more of that fear and say, I am the Messiah to it. And that's why they were calling Donald Trump like this Messiah, second coming. And Paula White was praying over him and speaking in tongues and shit. Anyway, so they weaponized fear. They taught Americans to fear immigrants, fear minorities, fear liberals, fear science, fear the press, and then promise to protect them from the very monsters they invented. None of those things they should have been afraid of. But they created a monster. And the crazy part about it is they are the monster. And what bothers me is how well this shit works. This has happened in history over and over again. It happened when slavery started in this country. Enslavement. It happened with Hitler. It happened with every country, with Putin. And it's like, what's up, Americans? You can't see that? You are so scary. It's crazy how people act like they're not scared of anything, but these people just say something and they make an entire group, millions, scared of something. A boogeyman that doesn't exist, they're scared of. And they hate. And while working, families fought for each other. And while working families fought each other over bathroom bills, the wealthy quietly dismantled regulations, busted up unions, captured the courts, and rewrote tax code. They didn't just rob the treasury, they rewired the system to funnel wealth upward forever. Our shit was temporary. They had the media takeover. Next came the megaphones. They bought up. Go check it out. It's sickening how many things that people own, billionaires own. Rupert Murdoch, Fox owns so many damn news organizations and shit like that, and media, radio stations and different. And there's many others that own so many of these things, even in Latin countries, the same way. They bought up local radio, then national TV, then digital media. They built Fox News, not as a news outlet, but as an emotional conditioning system. Each story was designed not to inform, but to inflame. Anger became addictive. Fear became profitable. They didn't want viewers, they wanted soldiers. And soon, social media algorithms amplified their methods. Outrage became engagement, and engagement became currency. Every click of anger, every share of hate made someone rich. They turned democracy into a dopamine factory, and we became the raw material. This is what I call the political host body. Then came Trump, the perfect vessel. He didn't create the machine, he revealed it. He was a marketing product of decades of propaganda, a walking reflection of a country that had been taught to mistake cruelty for strength and ignorance for authenticity. While he played the part of outsider, the machine ran the show behind him. Staffed by ideological operatives like Russ Vought, Stephen Miller, and Steve Bannon the first time around, men trained in the art of demolition. All of those people were trained to destroy shit and rebuild. Their goal wasn't governance. As we can see, when Biden was president and the House, Jim Jordan and James Comer or whatever it is, that those two was running the House, they got nothing accomplished. They can't govern. That's not their goal. They don't know how to govern. This group of MAGA people have no idea how to govern. So that's why they had the worst governance under their leadership in the House in American history. Can you imagine? They did worse than somebody in the early 1900s or the late 1800s, whatever it is, 1898. They did better than these people here, the Jim Comer and Jim Jordan and James Comer. They did better than them. That is insane. With all the technology and time, they were off on a tangent trying to make Joe Biden look bad. Because it wasn't a goal to win for the people. It was a goal to win for the power. And they had built this army of divisive people. Their goal wasn't governance, it was deconstruction, the dismantling of democratic norms, the corrosion of truth, and the replacement of civic responsibility with tribal rage. You ask yourself, how can you get people to do January 6th? January 6th was validation for them. That what they were doing, had been doing for 50 plus years, came to a head. all this study that they did, how you can enrage human beings to hate, and then implementing it with the vessel of hate, which is Donald Trump. It was a perfect like atom bomb. They gave him the fuel and he went out there and just lit the match. That's why they loved him so much. Not because, that's why we were sitting there and I was sitting there thinking the same thing. I'm like, all this time, until I started to write this, all this time we've been thinking that governing, he's terrible. He sounds stupid, doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's not what he's there for. He's a plant. Donald Trump ain't running shit. Donald Trump couldn't figure his way out of a paper bag. It's their job to implement. Russ Vought is not Donald Trump's guy. He is the billionaire's guy. And Donald Trump is a sycophant for billionaires. Give me money and you can have the country. I promise you, if Saudi Arabia said, Donald Trump, we want to buy America for $6 trillion, Donald Trump would get in a plane and fly to another country and sell the shit out of America. Ask yourself, you know he would? He loves money more than he loves anything else. The only thing that makes this man's life light up, his face light up, is money. The result, the great American swindle. While every day people shouted across digital fences about who to blame, the oligarchs did what oligarchs do. They looted. While we were pissed off back and forth, rich people have been robbing us blind. Our wages have stagnated. Healthcare costs exploded. Education was privatized. Now, not only has this been going on for 50-something years, it's just been accelerated because of what they've done with Donald Trump and getting into office this time, where we gave the country gave them the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and the Supreme Court. You see what they'll do when they're back in power. Education was privatized, and the national debt ballooned, not from helping the poor, but from feeding the rich. Our debt went up, majority because we were giving rich people money. And of course, we had the pandemic, but still in the pandemic, rich people were making a mint. They turned hate into an economy. You didn't hear me. They turned hate into an economy. Remember, Donald Trump was selling shit left and right. What he was selling hate. Every time he went up there and said some hateful shit, I got shoes. He go up there and raise these people and get them pissed again. I got some meme coins. He go out there and piss them off again and say they're stealing your country. They're stealing this and the third, getting them all excited and hateful, extra hateful. Then remember earlier on, he was like, I don't care if you punch that person, knock him out. I'll pay the bills. He just told them, I'm rich as hell. Do what you want, and I got your back. They felt like somebody really cared about them. And that he would pay their bills if they did wrong, and he would exonerate them if they broke the laws for him. He's building an army of people to do bad. And they're doing it and getting away with it. And Americans, what are we doing? Democrat leaders, independent leaders, what are we doing? You see it. I'm painting a picture. You got to be able to see this. It's not like this is strange. It should be very clear. And unless you in on it, what the fuck are you doing about it? So they turned lies into currency. His rallies, lie after lie after lie. Not only did he make money off of it, he got opportunities from it. He helped the average person, like these Benny Johnsons and all these other people and Candace Owens. He helped them become rich by spewing some of the most hateful shit. And they were just as bad as him in the sense that they are so hooked on money that they didn't care about what they were destroying on the way out. They were burning down buildings, but looting the place, getting $1 million here, $3 million there, just to spew shit that they didn't even care if they believed or not. They just had a script to do and they did it. Those lies turn into currency. While we out here fighting for the truth, and people who want us to keep telling the truth, they aren't giving us money. We're out here busting our ass. We don't get paid shit. They out here lying their asses off, and it's turning into millions. So which one does the American people want? Well, if you judge by what we're making off of it, America has put more money behind these liars than they put behind truth sayers like myself. So if my word don't stretch and doesn't spread, and I don't get anything to be able to grow, and I ain't got to get it from people, I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the example. If I'm not making anything to tell the truth, and the people over here are making hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to tell lies, which one goes further? I've been screaming into the void. Nobody's advertising my shit. Nobody's pushing my shit to the millions, to the masses. I've been doing this for a minute. I could come on here right now and say some horrible shit about black people just for the fuck of it. Totally pull a super cool moment. Just say some shit about black people, blah, blah, blah. And I promise you, I will have money just flying into my account, my comment section. Because hate sells. That divisive shit sells. And they knew that. And they gave these people $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, some of them $1 million just for one video. It is a machine that kept pushing it out. And you would see that, oh, he got 1 million views off of that. Let me watch it. And you watch this, made it 1,000,001. And whether you believed it or not, that content makes money. And if you were a person who just wanted to make money and had no morals, I'd rather have a Lamborghini than somebody care about me. You too jumped on that train. That's how you got the Hodge twins. That's how you got these other dudes, these other black people doing these things. That's how you got some of these white guys who are Latin but think they're white out here doing some of these same things, acting a fool, saying some of the worst things about their own people. Because money or power over people is everything for them. So we got to figure out, if we want to save democracy, we got to start spreading the words of what we want. Find these people who are speaking the truth to power and start supporting those people, just like these people supporting hate. Because if we don't, we can't win. And I'm not even just talking about you. I'm talking about millionaires and billionaires. You need to start paying people like me and others who are better than me in different aspects, just telling the truth. You need to start paying them. And if you ain't got to put money in their pockets, put money to promote what they're saying. Ads to say what they're saying so that you can have this grow. But if we're always in the shadows and they're putting millions and billions of dollars behind the lies, you can't defeat them. They spread super fast. Never mind the fact that the way this human cells works out, which is sad, we will spread a lie faster than we spread the truth. That's without any money involved. That's why there needs to be money involved, so you can get the truth out more often than the lies. But that part has to be a part of defeating this. It can't be just let us fight and never get seen. That's not going to happen. We wonderful people here, but this shit needs to spread. Not only just my show, I'm talking about everybody's show that's speaking the truth. Those people have to get millions of views so that shit gets out there and just everyday citizens start to see it. And I understand, if it's not me, because I cuss a lot. I don't care, Tabitha, I don't care, whomever. It has to start coming out. The more of us out here doing it, and the more we get support to do it, the more it spreads. These people are maniacal. They're evil. They're doing this shit on purpose. They've been doing this for 50 years. We don't have that type of strategy or plan. And we can't defeat something that's organized with a bunch of like millions of people. We got way more millions than they do. They would never win another presidency, House, Senate, nothing, if we united around democracy. Instead, we divide it over everything. I want to talk about healthcare. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about democracy. That's the only way you can get any of those things to work. Focus on democracy, and all those things are something that we can work on. Dictatorship, you have no say-so in it. I don't understand why you don't see the alarm bells running off on your head in life and saying, like, we got to do something, we got to do something, we got to do something. Instead, we just passive and saying, we got to do something, and then we move on. Next day, we got to start organizing and doing something and going to these rallies and things like that, or at least supporting the rallies. And like I said, I got 3 things that I'm working on. Avid Solution is one. We got to have a solution base. We got to have something that we have to be able to solve the problems that we see that are affecting us, that we can't rely on the government to do, that America's gonna have to do for ourselves, and therefore not be on the government teat for a lot of this stuff. Even though you can still apply for stuff from the government, that would be just an added bonus. But we got to figure some stuff out, which I've got some things that I would talk about on my Avid Solutionist site when I continue to do it. I'm still promoting it, I'm still building it, but trust me, it's going to be about solutions. I want to make it fun, and even so that even our young could actually use it to be able to create solutions for the problems they have. They don't have adult problems right now, but they have problems, and they can be able to have these particular things as well. I'm thinking about all of us in different age brackets about the problems that we can solve for each other. But anyway, let's continue, and then I'll get done. I'm almost done. Afro Think Tank is a good too. He comes with facts too. Oh yeah, I gotta check it out. Thank you, I appreciate that, Dennis. All right, so they turned democracy into a business plan. But every disease, and this is a disease, hate is a disease, breeds its cure. What they didn't count on was this: the people, me and you, the people that they said that were too powerful, that's why they wanted to tear us down, and they've been trying to do this for 50 years. The people can learn. That's what I'm doing, teaching, and others are doing the same thing, so that the people can learn. Truth, once organized, can outlast lies. You didn't hear me. Truth, these facts, once organized, can outlast lies. Their lies are organized. Like I said, there's money behind them. There's billions of dollars. There's billionaires that are literally putting their money, time, and effort behind these lies. We have to do the same behind the truth. The truth is not going to prevail just to be prevailing. I would love it for it to be. It has to prevail when it becomes visible. If we're not visible, these truths, these facts, they only matter in a small group of people. We have to reach the masses, because their stories and their things that they're saying, they aren't anything important. You can go watch these MAGA speak. It's some of the dumbest shit they're saying. But for some reason, it gets 1 million views. You know why? Because the billionaires behind it are paying massive amount of money to promote these things, to put them out there so that the world gets to see them, to open up the floodgates, to get rid of the filtering on these apps. Many of these billionaires own these apps, so they get a pass. Oh, is this organization? Oh, is this the organization? Oh yeah, open them the fuck up. Everybody gets to see it and wants to see it. Oh, it's a dude talking about black stuff, and he's black and da da da, and he's talking about power to all the people. And oh, let's close that shit down a little bit. My shit gets seen by 500 people. Theirs gets seen by 5 million. And I'm not just talking about me. You can go to anybody that you like, and you'll see if there's a person talking about a person of color talking about this, their floodgates are closed, man. They can talk into the void, and ain't nothing opening up. That's by design. And they know we ain't going to pay for it because we don't have those funds to be advertising our shit and promoting it. They know that. But I'm telling you, if you love democracy, you need to support these people who are telling the truth. Don't let these truths just rest in these comment sections. They have to be promoted. I don't care if you make a video of your own with the content of facts, whatever. They need to get out 100%. And the antidote to their machine isn't despair, it's structure. We have no structure. We need an infrastructure. And I'm building a 3-part infrastructure. It's a total 7, but we only need 3 at the very beginning. One is, again, the financial aspect, the economic aspect, which I told you is partners, making money every time you shop. That way, creating relationships between each other. And therefore, when I buy, I can make money. You buy, you make money, blah, blah, blah. No pyramid type of situation. You don't have to buy and want to do whatever you want to do. It's just living within your budget. We're all about trying to build generational wealth amongst people who really just want to, take care of great American citizens and not be gouged over shit. We don't have to go there. We can have capitalism that cares, right? You got one aspect there. You got another aspect is to create solutions for each other. And if you create any solutions, of course, you can make money, but you're getting solutions so that your life gets better. You may need, and then there's other aspects of being able to invest in anybody's particular idea. You can start making money off of certain things. And as the majority of American citizens, if that person has a plan or a program or whatever you like, you can invest in it. You're making money off of these particular investments. It may be like donations at the very beginning, but you're the first ones to be able to get investments as soon as it's open up to investments. But it's all up to you. You know what I'm saying? So you got the financial, you got the problem solving, and you got to be able to create industries that can create living wage jobs. You don't have to worry about the government. You can keep filing for whatever you file for, but at the same time, you got another process. This is what I'm building for us, the American citizens. Forget all that billionaire shit. I am trying my best to take these billionaires down. They had the gall, the unmitigated gall, to put all these organizations together to destroy American citizens, not just black. They wanted to destroy American citizen power. Our unity was too much for them, that they took a concerted effort about 50 years ago to destroy our powers, and it's coming to fruition in 50 years. But we have to do something because they got a 50-year jump on us. And if we don't do something, everything they want to get, they're going to get. Democrats, independents, American citizens, we got to unite over some stuff, and we need to talk. So you'll see me here, and I'll continue talking about it. And then let's see. We need to develop like a resistance to it all that the people are focused on. What I consider to be like a vaccine for it. I know people, a vaccine. We need a vaccine for this greed and hate and deception. And just as they use money, media, and organization to build an empire of fear, we need to use those same tools, but for the opposite purpose. To fund the truth instead of lies, to unite across class, race, and religion instead of divide and have divisiveness over it, to make transparency a weapon, not secrecy. So transparency, letting everybody see what we're doing, as opposed to not, it makes them look bad because, again, they say transparency, but when you actually show real transparency, it shows their shit to be highly secretive. Just the word transparency come out of their mouths. We need to show them what true transparency looks like. To create ownership instead of dependency. We're dependent on the government. It closes down, we're fucked. If we, as a people, had other ways of going about the things that the government did, they could shut the hell down and we still could keep it moving. You feel me? In many ways. But that's something, for the future, what we're doing. We don't fight fire with fire. We fight corruption with construction. We build systems that can't be bought, networks that can't be silenced, and communities that can't be turned against themselves. Where they built think tanks to manipulate policy, we build idea labs, I have a solutionist, that generate solutions for the people. Where they built media to deceive, we build truth engines that inform people like myself who tell facts. Building that as a network, as it being me and being Tabitha and being others that the Afro person that you mentioned, I can't remember, it's passed up already. But all the different people who tell facts, them being on a network of some sort, so that you can be able to see them, and also being on YouTube or whatever, but creating some kind of network that we can be more than people who are being on YouTube, people who watch TV or whatever can be able to have them. Radio, it'd be more powerful. You can go from one show to another about positive narratives about things, and also exposing lies and truths. If it's more powerful when we're together instead of being divided. Be united. Put some of us on the same stage and have conversations about our perspectives of what's going on in the world, and being able to televise something like that. That gives us more viewage. In other words, being able to put this stuff out here and not just be in one little silo. Where they built centralized wealth, we democratize opportunities. And what I talk about with partners, we're helping each other become more wealthier. Will we all be rich? No. Will we be poor? No. We'll have varying levels of wealth based upon how you buy and shop. Not that you go out and shop all the time, but if you're buying groceries, if you're buying, products, why not buy it where you get paid for it instead of going to like a grocery store that says, oh, you saved $25 or whatever. Fuck all that. I ain't going nowhere unless they say I made $25. And that money's in my pocket and I go use it somewhere else. That's a possibility. Why not do that? Again, the people who are still selling the product are still going to be rich beyond their wildest dreams, but they give a fuck about the people who are buying their product. And think about it. If you, let's say you got a technology company and I decided to buy something from you, and then I'm using it and having fun with it, anything like that, and I wake up and I got $25 that I'm like, what the fuck did I get $25 for? Well, and I'm like, oh, because of your data. Whatever use your data, it's yours. We don't take money for data. You just open your data up to whomever you want to get it to. If they use your data, you get paid for it. You might as well own your own data and make money off your data. We won't do it. Would you rather be with a company that gave you money for your data, as opposed to just telling you, if you want to be on it, you gotta let it take the data. If not, go to a different app. And if you don't want to sell it at all, turn it off. Nobody gets it. But you can make money off of it. I'd rather be with a company that was that transparent than a company that stole your shit and has made a gazillion dollars off of it. That's the difference between having a structure that cares about it, democratizing it, so that you make money off of the things that, if I'm gonna make money off of you, there's no doubt that you should make money too. We can switch this game up, y'all. We don't have to keep it the same way. Think outside the box. This box that we've been in, these people have been trying their damnedest to steal it, and they've been calling it everything else but what it is. So maniacal and evil, they named their organization to make it sound like they were doing great things. Oh, listen to this. It's Heritage Foundation. When it really meant white nationalists, we hate everybody else, especially, people of color and women. Your body, my choice. If they named it that, you would have never, nobody put money behind it, it wouldn't have went nowhere. For 50 years plus, these types of organizations have been out here calling themselves some of the greatest thing on the planet, but behind the scenes, their meetings were F black people. I don't like them either. F, gay people, I don't like them. F, women, don't want to do with them. That's what they've been having their meetings to do, to hate. But their organization sounds like, oh, it's just a wonderful thing to be. This is how the American people win. Not with slogans, but with infrastructure. A machine of compassion, equity, and truth. Equally well-funded, equally disciplined, and infinitely more righteous. The revolution that outlasts them. The far right thinks in terms of decades. Now we must too. Ours is not a reaction, it's a replacement. The day the people realize that democracy isn't something you defend, it's something you own. That's the day the machine begins to rust. Because hate has billionaires, but love has billions of people. This is how we defeat these things and start to defeat them. We have to organize and build an infrastructure to destroy it. Think tanks, economic systems, right? And then unity around the news and facts. Doing those three things, we can start to defeat this stuff. And I'm optimistic. I think we can defeat it a lot faster than it took them to do, because they had to hide out doing this stuff for 50 years, putting out a little bit here, a little bit there, money here. We don't have to hide by doing good. We do it out in the open, and it should grow a lot faster than what they had to do behind the scenes. We put them on blast about what they did, and we should be able to move this faster, way faster than they do, because we have nothing to hide and everything to win. All right. That's what I got for y'all today. Oh, sorry, I got a little bit longer than I expected, but I had to get this all out. But keep hanging around. These are the types of things that we need to do for each other. The way we're going to win is to focus on us. And if we don't focus on us, the people, the American people, democracy, we're going to lose it. You can't keep looking at the things that Donald Trump does and think they're one-offs. There's a reason why every day there's multiple, like, what the fuck's going on? That's because you can't focus on the real what the fuck you should be saying. Because there's too many what the fucks going on. While you're focusing on that, the devious shit that they need to have done is being done. Who knows what we lost today and yesterday because everybody's been paying attention to this building falling down, that these people are behind the scenes destroying a part of the Constitution, destroying other parts of laws that we have. We don't know. None whatsoever. And we got to keep our Democrats, independents, our congressmen, senators, that we need to keep y'all focused on the game plan. I know you guys are doing, most of your job, but please pay attention to this. These organizations that they built are here to destroy American democracy and give it to oligarchs. And if you can't see it, like I said, just go to the inauguration, watch that video, and you'll see the next to the most important people in this country, meaning the president is the most powerful. And who's setting those governor boxes was supposed to be like the second system of power, the governors of each state. They weren't sitting there. The billionaires were. I'm just saying. All right. Much love to you guys. Thank you, DJ. I thank you. I appreciate you, John. I appreciate you. I see you, Benny Loco. Thanks for all my members, subscribers. I see you, Dennis. Rude in the Planet Janet. Thank you. So who else is in here? Thank you, Michael Bruce, for the donation. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get to that and see it earlier. I see you, Vicky. Vera, I see you. Welcome. Who was that? Nomadic Mariner. Thank you for the 10 memberships. We got Check It, Kelly 85. Welcome. Dovely, like lovely in a way. Dovely Creations, Nanny's Cool or Nan is Cool, Minor Burr, the Jabroni Experience, Michael Hamilton, Mountain Bike Fan, Debbie Hopewell, and Pickle Zero. Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. Straight Facts, no chaser. F your feelings. But anyway, not your feelings, but you get my point. Thank you again, Nomadic Mariner. Meryl Wassam, welcome. Rennis Smith, Kind Bluey, Tony Africa. I see you, Scott. Ann Jeffers, Jacqueline, Val, Leon W, and small W. I don't know what that is. Jen Darth and K Travel Tarot. Again, another Nomadic Mariner. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Go back and see everybody that I see. Give love to my members. I see John Bryan earlier. He said, "Get him." That's what I do. All right, I see you, Vicky and Lynn. You guys take it easy. I won't be here tomorrow because I'm going to Texas for the first time. I'll be in Austin, Texas with my music group. I don't have a music group. I'm not like out here singing. But I'm on TikTok. I do some DJ and stuff on there. We do old school music. So on Fridays on TikTok, we do a show called Chocolate Music Lab. So they get 2 requests. I play my list. I play their list. Then we close it out. So that's going to happen tomorrow night. I'll be in Texas. So I'll see some people there. And you'll see me live with some people that we've met. Some of us have met. Some of us have not. But that's what we do. It's a big family affair. And none of us knew each other before Chocolate Music Lab started on TikTok years ago. So I won't be here on Friday because I'll be traveling. And on Monday, I'll be traveling back. So I won't be here Friday or Monday. But Tuesday, I should be back, doing it again. I may go live vertically. I know, DJ, when I go, if you're going to be there, I go live vertically. I get a lot of these crazies in the room. I don't care. I don't mind them. Let them come in. I talk shit just as much as they can. But just to let you know, it's kind of wild sometimes when they do that. But anyway, you guys have a great evening. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. And maybe I'll go live in Texas if we go somewhere and do something. All right. You guys stay safe. I'll see you when I see you. Much love.